Good morning, students. Today, in this lecture, we will discuss about the single sideband and vestigial sideband. So, first of all, we have to already seen that. What about the single sideband? So, when we have done the modulation, so in amplitude modulation, when we transmit our modulating signal with a carrier signal, so when we plot the spectrum of amplitude modulated signal, so at that particular time we have received the two sideband as we have to seen in this spectrum. So generally, if we are talking about the sideband, so there are two sidebands are generated in amplitude modulations, upper sideband and lower sideband. So if you are talking about the upper sideband, so upper sideband is the FC is the your carrier frequency, and spectrum of that particular FC is the impulse of phase signal at particular FC frequency, and there is a upper sideband at the frequency of FC plus FM, and FC minus FM there is a sideband of lower sideband. So in this way we will receive the two sidebands, and as we have seen in our previous lectures that same information contained in both the sideband means you can also transmit your one sideband, then your information can also be transmitted, but there is a little bit problem in one side single sideband transmission because quality of signal will not be up to the mark. So maintain the quality of signals, we transmit both side of sidebands because lower frequency signals are distorted, and due to this some amount of information loss will occur in our information, basically modulated signals. So first of all, we will see here why we are using the single sideband and what is the use of single sideband. So again we will see here, this is the, and as we have to also seen in our previous lectures that double sideband will also transmitted with the carrier and without the carrier. So as we have to see in DSB SC double sideband suppressed carrier modulation, so same we can also implement it in single sideband suppressed carrier system, because there is again a problem generated because two-thirds of power will be consumed in the carrier signals and only one-third power will be consumed in the sidebands. So we have to see that efficiency of system will be decreases due to transmission of carrier signals with the sideband signals. So for removing the this type of losses in our signals, we can also use the single sideband suppressed carrier system. So there are also two options. You can transmit your signal single sideband without carrier or single sideband with carrier. So there is a spectrum. Now we will try to, this is the double sideband full carrier system. As we have to already see, either we can transmit with carrier both the sidebands, without carrier both the sideband, or same will be applicable, either you can remove lower sideband or you can remove the upper sideband for transmission of SSB SC signals. So here we can see, we will remove carrier signals also, we will remove lower sideband signals also, only want to transmit our upper sideband signals. So this is the system by using, we can opt the SSB SC. Now, how we can suppress this type of carriers? So we will see here. If you want to suppress one sideband and carrier signals, so first of all, what about the basic signals you have required? So there is a modulating signals, you have a carrier signals, and when you have to done the modulation, as we have to done in DSB amplitude modulation system, there will be two sideband will be generated. So that will be the upper sideband and lower sideband systems. So FC plus FM and FC minus FM. So you can transmit your signals by using either of the sideband. Either you can use the upper sideband or you can use the lower sideband system. So how this is happens? So you can filter out, you can use the band pass filter to such type of frequency that only either upper sideband signals will be transmitted through that band pass filters, or lower sideband signals will be transmitted through this band pass filters. Now we will discuss about the bandwidth of SSB SC wave. So as we have to already discuss about the double sideband modulated wave, since there are two sidebands and bandwidth of this amplitude modulated signal is 2 FM. So when we are completely removing our one sideband, so bandwidth requirement will be half of the DSB-SC requirement. So this is the basically this is the advantage of our SSB-SC signal. Ki all the informations will be transmitted by using half the bandwidth, and this is the very important requirement of our communication system, that we have to optimize the bandwidth. We want to transmit our signals with using the low bandwidth, because bandwidth requirement is a very major role in our communication system, and we have to pay the cost for our bandwidth purchasing. So for optimization purpose, always we have to use the bandwidth. So if we are talking about the SSB-SC signal, so there is a half of the bandwidth can be used for transmitting the signal. So this is a very good advantage of our SSB-SC signals. Now we can again see what about the power. We are talking about the bandwidth, we have to require the half the bandwidth. When we are talking about the power, so what will happen there? You have, if you are want to transmitting your double sideband with carrier, so you have to transmit large amount of power with your channel. But if you are opting the SSB-SC signal, so you have to only require one sideband. So all the power which you have to consuming in carriers and other sideband, that can be utilized in transmitting the SSB signals. Means we can design a high power SSB transmitter system. So if you are talking about the advantage of our SSB modulation system, so bandwidth of spectrum, space occupied is lesser than the AM and DSB. So as we have to see that bandwidth requirement is less with respect to DSB. Transmission of more number of signals is allowed. Power is saved. High power signals can be transmitted by using the SSB signals. Less amount of noise is present, and signal fading is less likely occurred. So that is the very basic advantage of our SSB transmission. Now we will see the disadvantage of this type of signal. So basically the disadvantage is generation and detection of SSB signal is more complex. So how you can define this generation and detection? Because you have to filter out one sideband from complete spectrum. So you have to require the specific, more precise filter for selecting the either upper sideband or lower sideband. So this type of precise filters is very complex. Quality of signals get affected. So this is another reason because you are using only the one sideband for transmission, and receiver has a at the receiver section there may be some loss of information. So what about the loss of information? Quality of signals will be also degraded, and since noise are affected due to lower part of your frequency signals, so in this case low frequency signals or information which is contained in low frequency part, that may be damaged. So there may be some loss of information will also be in SSB transmission. So this is the two major disadvantage. The transmitter and receiver part is more complex, more complicated, costly, and the another part is there is a loss of informations. There is a, we have to adjust with the quality of your signals, because if we are transmitting our signals with double sideband suppressed carrier or double sideband transmission system, quality of signals will be much better than the SSB signals. Now we are focused to the what are the applications of our SSB signal. So power saving requirement and low bandwidth requirement. So basically in that particular applications area where we have to much focus on the costing and power saving, low bandwidth consumption. So at that particular application area we can use the SSB transmission. In land, air, maritime, mobile communication, so that is a point to point communication, radio communication, television, telemetry, radar communications, military communications. These are the different areas where we are use the SSB modulation techniques. So that is again, as we have already seen. Now we have to little bit focus on the power calculations of SSB-SC signal. So as we have to see that basic spectrum pattern. In previous lectures, we have to also calculate the mathematical expressions of this. So AM AC by 2. So that is the basically coefficient or amplitude of our spectrum, our upper side band and lower side band. So what about when we want to calculate the power P? So that is equal to VRMS square upon R. So that is equal to, what about the, this is the equal to Vm by root 2 square. So that is basic calculation of our power. So what about the AM AC by 2? So coefficient of sideband and by root 2. So we can calculate the RMS value, and after then we can calculate the power contained in the upper sideband, or either same power will be contained in the lower sideband. So if you are talking about the power content of both the sidebands are equal. So either you can use the upper sideband for transmission, either you can use the lower sideband for transmission purpose. So in both the sidebands, same power will be consumed. So now we will see how we can generate our SSB-SC signal. So what are the basic methods or modulators by using we can generate SSB-SC signals. So as we have to see that we have to use precise filters for selecting our either of the sideband, either upper sideband or lower sideband. So here you can use, this is the frequency discrimination method. As you have to already seen, we have also used the product modulator in double sideband surface carrier system. So here we will also use the MT is the modulating signals, and there is the carrier signal that is generated by local oscillator, and that is a product modulator. So MT into AC cos omega CT. So that is the product modulator, product of two signals. And after then that is the DSB SC wave and then band pass filter. So what about the role of band pass filter? In DSB SC wave, you have a both the sidebands, upper sideband and lower sideband. So you have to, according to your requirement, either you have to opt the upper sideband or you have to opt the lower sideband. So according to your requirement, you will design the band pass filter, and that particular band of frequency will be passed through this filter. So this band pass filter produces an output, as I have already told you. So this band pass filter is tuned for either the upper sideband or lower sideband signals. So this is the phase discrimination method. You have to use the AM cos omega MT, and by 90-degree phase shifting, we will convert this AM sin omega MT. There is the same thing, you are generating your carrier signals AC cos omega CT, and by 90-degree phase shifting you will convert. So in this product modulator, so here if we are talking about the phase discrimination method, here we are using the two product modulators, and we will generate the S1T and S2T signals, and these are the added at the last point. So this is the basic requirement. So by using the 90 phase shifting, as we have to already told you, so that oscillator will be work out, and we will calculate this one. So that is the basic equations, AMAC cos omega MT. So this is the S1T. So you can again calculate the spectrum. So we will find out the spectrum, positive and negative. Two spectrums we will find out. And by using these two spectrums, what will happen here? So for modulating signals and carrier signals are phase shifted by 90 degree before applying input to the lower product modulator. So we have two types of modulators. So lower product modulators produces an output which is the product of these two input signals. So you can also use by using the 90, so you can also calculate the S. And now you have to add the S1 according to your signals. You will receive the lower side by FC minus FMT. Either you can add it, either you can subtract it. So to that you will got your frequency spectrum. If you are subtracting, then you will get the upper side band. So same thing is here. This is the cos 2 FC plus FMT, cos 2 pi FC, and same thing is from you will receive. So this is the S1, this is the S2. So again in this S1 and S2. So how we can calculate these S1 and S2? You can see in this diagram. Yeah. So this is the two product modulator, upper product modulator and lower product modulator. So output of upper product modulator is S1T, lower product modulator is S2T. Okay, here we are multiplying EM cos omega MT, AC cos omega CT, and here after 90 we have again multiplied these two signals. So you can see here, and now you will apply the AM AC cos A cos B. So according to that formula, you can calculate the cos A plus B and A minus B. So we can calculate it. And now after 90-degree phase shifting, you will again calculate the 90-degree phase shifting. So you will sin D. So that is also, we can calculate the spectrum AM by 2 as a FC minus FMT minus. So because sin C, 2 sin is 2 sin C sin D. So that is equal to cos C minus D minus cos C plus D. So according to that trigonometric formula, we can calculate our spectrums, and by adding these two, so we can here add these two values S1 plus S2. According to that, we for one positive part are we will got this one. AM is cos 2 pi FC minus FM. And now same thing happen when you subtract S2 from S1. So you will subtract S2 from S1. So you will got the positive spectrum. So hence, by proper choosing the polarity of input at the summer block, we can get the SSB SC either upper sideband or lower sideband. So this is the frequency discrimination method. By using this frequency discrimination methods, we can generate our SSB signals. Now another one is the coherent detector. So that is the modulator part. Now we are switching to the demodulator part. So if we are talking about the demodulators of SSB. So what is the role of demodulator? Basically, if we are talking about the demodulator, so by using the demodulator, we can extract our modulating signals and we can remove the other spectrum. So here same thing is, so if you are transmitting the SSB SC signals, means if you are not transmitting carrier signals with your modulating signals. So now what will happen here? You have to again generate the same phase and frequency carrier signals at the receiver part. So that is also a complicated process because it is very tough to generate the same phase and frequency signals at the receiver. So this type of receiver or transmitter this type of receiver is designed by very costly. So if you are talking about the coherent detector, so here is a local oscillator and we will generate the same phase and frequency carrier signals, and we will multiply the signal with the modulated SSB-SC wave. And after then we will apply a low pass filter and our demodulated output. So that is the basically our information signals which we have extract from our modulated signals. So now here what will happens here? This is your SSB-SC waves. These signals are coming and you have to generate the same phase and frequency signals at the local oscillator carrier. So now you will multiply both these signals. Modulated signals, what you have to receiving at the TT. So now what will happens here? Then you product by these. So you will get the this type of spectrum. So if we are applying the low pass filter, these high frequency signals can be easily removed, and we, so that's basically your modulated signals. So that is a basically completely modulating signal frequency. So that is a basically scaling factor, and by using that we can generate the our modulating signals, and other part will be the subtractor. So same thing you can also use by having the either lower sideband or upper sideband. Really follow, and you can extract your output signals. So this same process. First time we were using the lower sideband. Second time, if you are working on the upper sideband, so you can again multiply with your carrier signal, and you can again extract your modulating signal. So that is our process. Now we will focus on the vestigial sideband suppressed carriers. So what about the vestigial sideband suppressed carrier and why we are using this? So as we have to already seen that when we are switching to the DSB SC to SSB SC, what will happen here? So you will completely remove our one sideband and we are using the ideal band pass filter for uh, this purpose, and we can extract either lower sideband or upper sideband. But to avoid, there may be certain loss. There is some information loss due to if practically we will not get the complete idle sideband, so there may be some part of information will be lost because generally noise will be affected due to lower part of huge signals. So basically, lower part may be damaged due to noise. So avoid this loss. We have choose a technique and which is a compromise between the DSB-SC and SSB-SC. So what about the technique? This technique is called as a only vestige, means a part of which means you have to take the complete one sideband, either lower sideband or upper sideband, and you have to take little bit small part of your uh, other sideband. So in this process, what will happen here? In VSB-SC modulation, you will take a part of signals called the vestige is modulated along with one sideband. So this type of frequency spectrum of VSB-SC wave is the given to you. So just you can see here, the USB is completely USB part we are working, and a small part of other sideband we are working out. So part of LSB. So you can take complete USB plus part of LSB, or vice versa is also done. You can take the complete part of LSB and small part of USB. So this is basically the spectrum of our vestigial sideband. So this type of spectrum, and after all, you can also provide a guard band for spectrum to the interference. So this is a basic part. So what is the basic role of and what type of bandwidth requirement we have to use in this part? So we will discuss here. And if you are talking about a VSB modulation system, so VSB modulation system is generally used in TV transmissions. So as you can see, if you are working on the double sideband suppressed carrier, your bandwidth requirement will be 2 FM. If you are working on the SSB-SC transmission, your bandwidth requirement is half of the VSB, that is the FM. But what will happen when you are working on the VSB-SC modulated wave contents? So when we are working on the VSB-SC pattern, so frequency component of one sideband along with the vestige of other sideband. So there is a suppose there is a we will indicate that frequency with the FV. So you have to require the complete FM frequency for transmitting the complete sideband. Plus, you have to also require some extra bandwidth. Suppose that is FV for transmitting the small part of that particular part which you have to taken from another sideband. So the bandwidth requirement is a little bit more than SSB and less than DSB system. So if you are talking about the advantage, so this is highly efficient reduction in bandwidth when compared to the AM or DSB-SC waves. So bandwidth requirement is less with respect to that. Filter design is easy since high accuracy is not needed because we have to also take the small part of other sideband. So sharp cutoff is not needed because if there is any losses due to edges, we can cover that particular vestige part. So that is a basically high accuracy is not required. You can use the filter, appropriate filter for this purpose. Transmission of low frequency components is possible without any difficulty. So as we have to see, the low frequency components are damaged, and we have to avoid the low because noise is easily affected to the low frequency components. So this problem is also solved because we are sending the lower part frequency signals the copy of that particular in other section. So if you are talking about there is a same copy of that low frequency signals and possess good phase characteristics also. If you are talking about the disadvantage, so bandwidth is more, so that is a disadvantage. Ki SSB SC is required again less bandwidth, and VSB SC is required the large bandwidth with respect to the SSB. And demodulation process is also complex in our VSB SC system. So this is a very major disadvantage of our wastage in sideband suppressed carrier system. Application, as we have to already, standard applications of VSB-SC is transmission of television signal. So it is most convenient and efficient technique when bandwidth usage is considered. So let's discuss about the modulators which generate the VSB-SC wave and demodulator which demodulate the VSB-SC. So now we will focus on the modulator part and demodulator part. How we can generate the VSB-SC waves and how we can demodulate our signals in using the demodulator part. So that is basically our generation of VSB-SC. So if we are talking about the product modulator, so there is also we are working. So what will happen here? VSB wave is similar to the SSB-SC. So there is nothing else. The same process is as you have to already seen. There is a modulating signals and there is a local oscillator signals. And here we are working on the product modulator. So DSB-SC wave. So that is the basically signals where you can receive the two sidebands. Now sideband shaping filters, you have to much focused on the filter part. That filter part had to have to pass the complete one sideband and a small part of the other sideband. So we have designed the filter band side shaping filter with more precisely for achieving the VSB-SC waves. So same thing is here in this method. We will generate the ESB-SC wave with help of same as we have to already study in our previous lecture, product modulator. Then ESB-SC wave as the input of the sideband shaping filter. So we will go through the sideband shaping filter, and this filter produces the output which is a VSB-SC wave. So empty and carrier signal AC cos 2 pi FCT are applied as input to the product modulator, and hence the product modulator modulates an output which is the basically that is the carrier signals into the modulating signal. So this is the output of the product modulator. You can see here there are two spectrum FC minus FC and F plus FC. So this is the spectrum. We will achieve this, and now we are to using the sideband shaping filter HF, and this filter has the input PT and output is the VSB-SC modulated signal. So that is we will use the Fourier transform of the VT and ST. You can see here this is the Fourier spectrum form. This is the spectrum of our VSB-SC signals. So that is the basically modulator and demodulator parts. By using that, we will work out. So now, in conclusion, what will happen? First of all, if you are talking about the amplitude modulation system, so basically in amplitude modulation system, we have three types of modulation. Okay, when we are done the first of all we have done the ordinary modulation. So there are two sidebands are generated. So what will happen there? We have to require the bandwidth requirement of 2FM. Large amount of bandwidth will be required for transmitting the signals. But when you have to work out large amount of bandwidth has required and you want to reduce the bandwidth requirement, because this is a very necessary to reduce the bandwidth, but at that time quality of signals will be also affected. So where we can maintain with quality of signals, but bandwidth requirement is a very on top priority. So at that particular applications, we will use the SSB transmission. But since we have to know that no, we don't want to much compromise with the quality of signals, but we don't have sufficient bandwidth. So we have to find out the basic immediate there is a certain center point ki how we can reduce the bandwidth and how you can maintain the quality of signals, and your bandwidth requirement with respect to DSB can also be reduced. So for reducing that side, we will use the VSB-SC modulated signals. So this is a Fourier transformation of this one, and we can plot the spectrum. So here we have to require the proper shaping sideband shaping filter HF. So we can say that the VSB-SC transmission is a very useful transmission. It can maintain the quality of signals. It will optimize our bandwidth, and it is basically used in TV transmission purpose. So presently we will also using for video signals, we are working on the VSB-SC signals, and if we are talking about the audio signals of our TV transmission system, where we are opting the frequency modulated signals. So this is the way where we are working. So here bandwidth requirement, and if we are talking about the power, so we can also reduce the power requirement of our signals with opting the SSB-SC or VSB-SC. Because in DSB-SC with carrier, we have to transmit the large amount of power. That is also not easy to transmit such amount of power, and in spite of that, power will be wasted because that is not carry the informations. So you can see here what type of modulation technique we are working, and this type of techniques we have to use the modulators, demodulators. By using that, we can generate our signals. So the type of signal transmission in which power is wasted on the carrier, so that is known as a what type of transmission, in which type of frequency modulation technique we are working on. So if we are working on the no power is wasted, so we have to move to the suppressed carrier signal. DSB-SC signal. So what is the basic components which we have to require for transmission of double sideband signal? So that maybe you have to also calculate it. What is the advantage of SSB over DSB? As we have to already see basic advantage of. So what will happens when no carrier signal transmitted, when amplitude of modulating signal is zero? So you are not transmitting no carrier signal. So what about the SSB transmission? So you have to read out these. These are our objective questions. Which one of the following is not true with respect to SSB? So you have to completely study about the DSB, SSB. What is the role of? What about the bandwidth consideration in narrow and wideband FM? So you can also know about this type of system. So which type of FM system is approximately near to the AM? So you have to show that your amplitude modulation. So which part is equivalent to the FM? Now we are focusing on the, if we are working on the quantization noise, so that is basically a little bit which type of modulation techniques we are opting for data communication at present scenario. You have to know about it. How you can calculate the modulation index of AM. So when we change 0 to 1, so as we have to also read out in our previous sections, what is the role of modulation index in our transmitted power. So same will be reflected as we have to also calculated the sideband powers coefficient by using. So you can also calculate the SSB-SC efficiency by using this. IF stage, role of IF stage in the receiver. So what about the receiver part? As we have to transmit in DSB-SC, SSB-SC, VSB-SC. So what about the tuner, or we have to already seen in our previous lecture super heterodyne receivers. Okay, so that is the receiver section where which are working. And here we are also working on the receiver side. So what about the demodulator? What is the role of demodulator? So you have to generate the carrier frequency at particular receiver section. So if you have to generate the carrier signal, that will be part of SSB SC. So there is again a difference ki why we are transmitting the carrier signals and why we are not transmitting the carrier signals. So it is a very important question for our us. So when you have to opt in the broadcasting system, or you have to work out on the broadcasting system, your carrier signal will be transmitted with that particular part, because it is, if you are working on the broadcasting system, you want that your complete information is sent to the so many people in our area. So how, what is the role of, so you have to design a high power transmitter, and their receiving part will be easily handled and cheap in rate. So what about the very low cost? So we are working. So what is our target? Our target is basic target is if you are working on the broadcasting system. So what will happen there? There are number of receivers. Every persons are using that particular radio station. They are want to listen the music. So at that particular instant, we have to done the we have to send the carrier with the modulated signal, because if we send carrier signals with modulated signal, there is no need to generate again the same phase and frequency carrier signal at the receiver. And if there is not requirement of generating the same phase and carrier signal at the receiver part. So that is a basically advantage, because that particular part is the required the synchronization, and such type of circuitry is very complex when we are designing such type of receiver. So if we are working on the broadcasting system, so ordinary person cannot withstand the burden of such type of high cost, and the technical part is also complicated. So we have to require that when we are working on the broadcasting system, we have to require that we have to use the receiver, very simple receiver, so that the handling of that particular receiver part is very easy for a common persons. So that is the basic requirement if you are working on the broadcasting system. So what type of modulation system you are working? Either you are working on the DSB-SC, either you are working on the SSB-SC or VSB-SC. So what type of system technology you are working, your receiver part will be very simple if you are working on the broadcasting system. So every persons have not to pay the high money for getting the receiving the particular information what is transmitted by our stations. So this is our basic requirement ki how we are working on that particular part. So we have to design, and what is the role of transmitting the carrier with the, and why we transmit the carrier signals at the receiver. So if there is a single transmitter and single receiver, so at that particular instant you can design your receiver complicated. But if you are working on the broadcasting, it is not possible to design such type of receiver sections. So that is the basically our SSB, SC, DSB, SC, all transmission system. By using that different transmission system, we can optimize our bandwidth and cost of our receiver sections. So here we can also use the advantage of SSB over DSB. So very basic advantage is bandwidth optimizations, and how you can generate the DSB signal. So that is basically a balanced modulator. So balanced modulator is a technique, uh, a device which is used for generating the product modulator, and further we will apply the such type of filter that we can generate the uh, SSB signals or DSB signals. So I think this topic is clear. So either you can transmit suppressed carrier or you can transmit the with carrier. So all these two things are applicable to VSB-SC, SSB-SC, and DSB-SC. So that is the basically bandwidth requirement is also in immediate in between the less than DSB and higher than LSB. So okay, thank you.